Wait, Crush? Like Orange Crush? Like High C? Like Fanta?
Think again. For some reason, a guy in the video crushed the puppy under a huge rock.
Watched a dog, a poor animal, get crushed, man. And then you're like... If you're new to the channel, then you might not know, but I watched a video about every single pleasure fantasy. One of the craziest examples, we all use teddy bears and we cut a hole open underneath, take the stuffing out, and then, you know, like... So as a part 2, I feel like it's only right if we check out all the banned versions. So today we got every banned pleasure fantasy in 16 minutes.
Necrophilia, saying...
Whoa. As soon as I press play. Ain't this when you're attracted to dead people? When I die, I want y'all to be necrophiliacs, okay? Be attracted to me even as I'm dead. Never mind, I'm sorry.
Officer, she can't say no if she's already... Necrophilia, saying...
That was so crazy, my video replayed. What?
Dead is not a loophole in the justice system.
What?
In fact, it makes things worse because that's necrophilia, a banned fetish that's illegal almost everywhere.
Bro, wait, are these real people? They go to graves and try to like smash, bro? This has got to be what gooning does to the human brain, because think about it, bro. You mean to tell me you're trying to clap cheeks that are literally decaying?
Basically, necrophilia is when you're sexually attracted to unalived people.
Wow.
A corpse is like a supermodel to you. Meanwhile, visiting a morgue is like watching a Victoria's Secret fashion show for you. That's why you often see necrophiliacs working in funeral homes and morgues.
Oh,
but
hell no.
Getting turned on by dead bodies is one thing. Doing it with a corpse is an entirely different thing.
How do you even enjoy, like, I don't get it, bro.
That is where the law often draws the line, making it clear no one should be treating a dead body like a blow-up sex doll.
Right.
And it all starts with the important ingredient called consent. When you're dead, you really can't say yes or no to anyone, even if it's someone like Sydney Sweeney wanting a piece of that cold body. So when someone...
Yo, whoever made this video, bro, he's a freak. No, watch him. Watch him and make sure Sydney Sweeney is safe at all costs, bro. I don't know. I don't trust you. What
even a dead person can't give their consent, that's automatically morally wrong. After all, no one wants to be an unwilling participant in someone's nightmare romance.
True.
But it's not just about morals. There are also health hazards involved in necrophilia.
Oh, I'd imagine.
Dead bodies decompose, which is science's way of saying, please
Wait,
don't
is there like an STD that you can catch from smashing a decaying body or something?
touch. They are full of bacteria, diseases, and things that belong in a biological horror movie. People in hazmat suits handle corpses for a reason. If someone thinks romance should involve biohazards, they might need a long chat with a doctor. You might think this is something new in the modern world, but necrophilia has been around for a long time. Ancient Egyptians worried about it so much that they delayed embalming attractive corpses to make them less appealing. Yes,
Yo, Egyptians, what are y'all on, okay? If you're an Egyptian watching this video, yo, bro, I'm looking at you right now.
some people were such a problem that morticians had to let bodies rot a little first. Then in the 1800s, grave robbers stole bodies for medical schools, and some could not keep their hands to themselves.
Damn.
Coprophagia. Some
What?
people take the phrase waste not, want not way too far by eating poop. But that's not only because they
Eating what? Literal doo-doo, feces, fecal matter.
like its taste, it's more of a fetish that gives them pleasure. And the problem here is that humans are not built for that kind of stuff.
Holy.
There are some
I think there's a place in the Middle East that people would do this, right? Like people will fly out like models and then have them like dump on their chest.
animals, like rabbits, that make eating poop normal because it helps with their digestion.
They do?
But when humans do it for pleasure, that's when things go from nature is fascinating to this is two girls, one cup all over again. And
Wait, does this help with our body's digestive system or no? Just rabbits.
if you're familiar with that, you might have wanted to burn your eyes at one point. There
Yes.
are good reasons why.
Bro, 2G, 1C, if you know, you know, I watched it when I was like 10. It was shown to me without my consent. And this is why I'm now into waste matter, bro. Because I watched it as a kid. No, I'm kidding. I'm not into any of this type of stuff, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Are good reasons why we're not allowed to eat poop. It's a fast track to getting sick. Your body gets rid of waste for a reason. Putting it back in is like taking out the trash, sniffing it, and deciding to serve it for dinner. Bacteria and parasites love poop. If you eat it, they throw a party in your stomach, and you are the main course. Doctors say there is no safe way to eat poop. No amount of scrubbing,
So I can't throw it on the grill or anything like that? I can't cook it to medium rare and then eat that? Are we serious?
no amount of scrubbing, soaking, or seasoning makes it less dangerous. So when you eat poop for fun or pleasure, it's like you're looking to start a new plague again, and no one wants to be the poop-eating patient zero that everyone hates.
True.
That's why laws in many places have rules against this. Some countries ban any content that shows it. If someone eats poop on camera, the law steps in like a disgusted parent walking into a messy room. If it involves someone who didn't consent or wasn't able to, it stops being gross and starts being criminal.
Oh, true, yeah.
Meanwhile, psychologists consider this fetish an extreme one. It's linked to paraphilias, which are unusual sexual interests. Some people develop it due to trauma or psychological conditions. It's rare, but that doesn't mean anyone should eat it like yogurt.
So besides that, where else can you develop it? I always thought it was from some type of trauma or something.
Straight out of a cup. Crush fetish.
Huh?
Imagine going online one day to watch a video with a cute puppy as its thumbnail.
Wait, Crush like Orange Crush, like High C, like Fanta, like the soda?
But if you think there's a happy ending, think again. For some reason, a guy in the video crushes the puppy under a huge rock in an incredibly horrifying sight. And don't be too shocked to know that this is very common worldwide.
How could somebody possibly like find this arousing? You watched a dog, a poor animal, get crushed, man. And then you're like, we need help, bro. Brief intermission. If you're enjoying today's video so far, please make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Thank you very much.
Some people actually find pleasure in seeing animals getting crushed. This is called a crush fetish.
No, I don't believe
it's a
it.
fetish where decency and sanity are thrown out the window because people who have this
You made this up, bro. I don't believe it.
enjoy seeing animals getting their brains and guts squashed.
There's no
and
way. There's no way, bro.
And there are many underlying causes for this. Some people like this because they enjoy feeling powerful, while others like pain and pleasure in ways that should never involve a flattened hamster.
Cute hamster, no, man, no.
Whatever the case, this fetish crosses a big red line. That's why there are laws against animal cruelty, making crush fetish illegal. The worst part is that some people actually make videos of crushed animals. These videos exist because people pay to watch them. Imagine explaining that credit card purchase history to anyone. Luckily, in 1999, the US banned the sale of these videos.
If you look into my eyes, you can see a tear shedding. The poor hamster.
And again, there were loopholes in the law, which only says you can't sell them. It doesn't say anything about not making them. That's like saying you cannot sell stolen cars, but can steal as many cars as you can. So in 2010, the law got fixed, making the act of crushing animals illegal, regardless of whether you're making a video. Unfortunately, there are still people into this, hiding in plain sight. They probably go to pet shops to buy small animals that think they'll find...
Don't put this in my head, bro. Please, bro. Do not put in my head the fact that there are dudes who go to PetSmart to buy freaking animals and smash them. Not smash them like that, but smash them.
Permanent home, but find themselves in pet heaven sooner rather than later. If you do not have this turn on, please subscribe. Bestiality.
We are all not subscribing because we all have...
There's a fine line between being an animal lover and being a person who makes love to animals.
True.
The latter is bestiality, which means having sexual contact with animals or any living and breathing creature that isn't human. But it's not a weird fetish because it's actually illegal in most places. The first reason is that animals are not dating apps where you can swipe left or right and then hope they also swipe right on you. This is where consent comes in because
they can't consent, yeah.
They cannot agree or consent to anything. Not even teaching a parrot how to say yes.
Yo, tell me why I was about to ask that question. Can you teach a parrot to say? That's crazy.
It's consent. That's why the law clarifies that you can't find romance in the animal kingdom. Then there's also the possibility...
Well, technically, humans are animals, so therefore any mammal, living mammal, is allowed to be accessible through bestiality.
Danger, animals and humans are physically incompatible. Both bodies are not built for human nonsense. That means both you and the animal can get infections, diseases, or life-threatening conditions. If your life choices put you in the same...
Oh wait, isn't that where like a certain STD comes from? Like smashing monkeys, maybe? Something like that?
...category as medieval plague victims, you're doing something wrong with your romantic preferences.
Okay.
Of course, it's also a form of abuse. Some people think bestiality is cool, edgy, and rebellious.
No, it's weird.
Not. There's a difference between being a societal rebel and a guy who's into illegal stuff with animals. Even if some places don't have specific bestiality laws, you're still looking at animal abuse charges. There's no secret cheat code that lets you get away with it. But there are times when it's not just about wanting to have sex with animals. Studies show that there are connections between bestiality and harming children or people. Basically, it boils down to a person's lack of common decency and empathy.
That makes sense.
Explains why hurting animals,
but that should be the case for a couple of these different things on this list,
is on their to-do list. If they're willing to harm people, there's no reason to think they won't do the same to your dog.
True.
Snuff. Killing people is never a good thing, even if you're going to tell everyone it's for the sake of artistic freedom.
Right.
That's why snuff is a banned fetish. And it's not even banned because
What
it's
is that?
a bad fetish. Instead, it's simply banned because killing people is illegal anywhere you go. Snuff films are basically the horror movie industry's evil twin. Instead of ghosts or masked killers, they focus on real or fake videos of people being tortured or killed for pleasure.
What the?
Apparently, some people see suffering and think, now that's absolute cinema.
These are like the edgelords from back in the day in middle school, bro. The kids who would pull up videos of people being their head decapitated.
People have been whispering about snuff films for decades, like there's some dark secret of the underground film world.
Right.
The good news is that no real snuff films have ever been proven to exist. The bad news is that some filmmakers decided to fake it till they make it by making movies where people look like they're dying for real. All because some people out there have a snuff fetish and missed the memo that horror movies exist for a reason. Even if someone actually wanted to make a real snuff film, they're banned because murder and homicide are illegal almost everywhere.
This is nasty,
you
bro.
can't use creative and artistic freedom as a defense when you're on trial for murder. The law already has a firm stance on that whole thou shalt not kill thing, so there's no need for extra rules about snuff films. If murder is off the table, filming it for fun definitely is
True.
too. Ephebophilia.
What?
Move over, Leonardo DiCaprio, because some people actually think 18-year-olds are too old. That's where ephebophilia comes
18-year-olds are too old. Surely the person who thinks that is like 12, right?
in. It's a sort of fetish where an adult is attracted to teenagers, usually somewhere between 14 and 18.
Wait, ain't this just being a predator? Like,
It's already bad enough that teenagers are basically half-formed humans running on energy drinks and bad decisions. They think they know everything, but still need help remembering where they left their shoes. So
Right.
if you combine teenagers with adults with a thing for them, the danger levels reach maximum output.
Ugh.
The ban is basically rooted in the fact that a teenager's brain is still under construction.
that means a PDF is somebody who's like likes kids, but then an ePDF is like somebody who likes teenagers. Okay, got it.
Looking at a computer with too many tabs open, and half of them are frozen. They take risks, have no sense of time, and will argue for an hour about anything. This means they're not in the right frame of mind to be dating adults who are supposed to know that teenagers are vulnerable because
Right.
they're magnets for bad decisions.
Right.
That means ephebophilia is just
Now, I would argue that low-key, I mean, teenagers, bro. 19 is a teenager. I don't know if I'm saying a 19-year-old should be able to date just anybody, bro. Low-key, let's raise the age of consent, something like that. 19 and 35, bro, we gotta stop people like Leonardo DiCaprio. Wait, actually, he might be like 50.
fancy word for taking advantage of a vulnerable person. You can't even say that a teenager acts and looks mature for their age.
Facts.
Because science is still undefeated in studies about human development. And the facts say that teenagers aren't as mature as you think they are.
Yeah.
You'd probably admit that you regret around half the decisions you made when you were 16. This
Facts.
is
Like, if you're watching this video right now and you're a teenager and you think you're the most mature or whatever it is in the world. I felt that way too as a teenager, right? I was more mature than everybody else. And I still think I was more mature than anybody else when I was a teenager.
why there are laws protecting teenagers from grown adults. You can't even marry teens under 18 in most societies, even
Yeah.
though there are still cultures that allow young girls to marry older men. But at the end of the day, getting attracted to a teenager is not a free pass to be a
Bro, this picture's just throwing me off, bro. This looks just weird.
creep. If a grown adult thinks a teenager is their perfect match, they do not need a date. They need a long walk into reality. Voyeurism.
And a long prison sentence. Hold on.
Imagine believing that it's okay to be a walk into reality. Voyeurism. Imagine believing that it's okay to be a perverted spy in regular society, secretly watching people doing private things. There's a reason things like changing clothes, having sex, and taking a shower are called private stuff.
Right.
That's because people are supposed to do them privately,
Yeah.
without worrying about an eye in the sky watching them. This is why voyeurism is a banned fetish. Voyeurs are usually people who enjoy watching people in intimate and vulnerable moments.
So this is what Diddy had, right? Certainly, right?
They get a weird thrill from sneaking sneaking around and spying on others, like some kind of detective. Except instead of solving crimes, they are the crime. But enjoying something does not mean you get to do it. If that were true, people would be speeding, stealing candy, and taking naps at work without consequences.
I mean, we still do take naps at work, and we still do steal candy, man. We do that.
Laws exist for a reason. If you hide cameras in bathrooms, peek through windows, or record people without consent, you are not just breaking the law, but also begging for an orange jumpsuit and a reservation in the nearest prison. The problem is that technology has turned voyeurism into a full-time hobby for creeps. You can buy tiny cameras almost anywhere and put them in bathrooms and changing rooms without
like hotels, bro. Sometimes, I don't know, I'd be a little bit skeptical, bro. Like, do you have a camera in there watching me, shave my butt hairs? We all shave our butt hairs, right? I'm just kidding. I don't. But for real, though, cameras, I don't know, it's weird. And also, bro, the meta glasses that record people without you knowing and stuff.
Drones can hover around like robotic peeping toms, catching people in their backyards or even through their bedroom windows. There are even people who record others and post them online, only for the victims to wonder why everyone in public has been staring at them in lewd ways. Still, privacy is a basic right. No one wants to feel like they're starring in a thriller movie where the villain's main talent is being sneaky and creepy. This is why voyeurism is essentially a universally banned act. There is also a psychological side to this. Many voyeurs do not stop at watching. Some start breaking into places or following people. In these cases, it's not just harmless curiosity.
Bro, you're triple doubling up your sentence, bro. Send this man to prison.
Anymore, you're basically asking to be the main character of a police report. Exhibitionism. It's okay to be proud of your parts downstairs, but that doesn't mean everyone should be just as proud as you are. Sure, you might have a 10-inch member, but exposing...
Who, me? I'm glad you think that of me, man, but sorry to disappoint. Yo, what's the square root of 10?
Sure, you might have a 10-inch member, but exposing your private parts in public is not the same as wearing flashy clothes. Basically, exhibitionism isn't the best fetish to throw out in the open.
Bro, this is literally public indecency, straight up.
Some people have a thing for exhibiting themselves in public. Their brains are wired in such a way that they find it exciting that people see them in their birthday suits, exposing everything only their bathroom mirrors should see. But there's a reason why clothes were invented. And it's not only for warmth and protection.
To conceal your private parts, especially from people who are underage, bro. Actually, no, not even just people underage. People overage don't want to see that either, bro.
They're also there to protect the eyes of people who may not enjoy watching you in your naked glory.
Everyone, by the way.
Meanwhile, there are also cases when exhibitionism is more psychological than sexual pleasure. Some people have a strong impulse control issue that prevents them from not showing their private parts.
They think they're like Neanderthals or something, like homunculus. Bro, we're not in the caveman ages, bro. We don't want to see that big meat, man. I'm sorry.
They know it's risky, but they just can't control the strong urge. Just like how you'd say you're only going to watch one episode before bed, but end up binging the entire season overnight. Regardless, there are laws against indecent exposure or public lewdness. The laws may vary from one place to another, but the fact is that showing your junk in public isn't the best idea. You might get fined or sent to prison, but the worst you could get is finding yourself on the sex offender list. True. Like wearing a scarlet letter that says you're the worst.
Bro, did y'all know that if you pee in public, you can get on this list?
Somnophilia. It's late at night, and you want to go to dreamland after a tiring day, but you don't know that someone has been waiting for you to fall asleep before turning you into a puppet on a string for some weird, pleasurable game. That's what somnophiliacs do.
No. Do not call it somna nothing. This is grape.
Somnophilia is a fetish where someone gets excited by the idea of a person being asleep or unconscious. The biggest problem is that an unconscious person cannot say yes or no. But offenders don't really care about consent. Instead, they just think they could get away with it because you're asleep. And
this
while
not
you're
somna nothing.
In your sleep, your offender might be living a different kind of fantasy in real life. But laws do not care about someone's fantasy. If you do anything to a sleeping person without their clear, awake agreement, you are committing a crime. Even if they wake up later and say they do not mind, that does not change the fact that they were unconscious when it happened, because the law is not a time machine. Psychologists believe this fetish is often linked to control. Some people like the idea of someone being completely still and unresisting. Others might be afraid of rejection because a sleeping person cannot...
This is literally straight up grape bro.
...say no. The problem is that they also cannot say yes, agree, high five, sign a consent form, or even blink in approval. Meanwhile, some people with this fetish try to keep it legal by role-playing with a partner who pretends to be asleep. That is the only way to ensure no laws are broken, and no one ends up
babe, you know, I'm really into this thing. Can you pretend to be asleep and I can just like take your innocence? What are we talking about? What are you doing, dude?
In jail, trying to explain why their love life sounds like a crime documentary. The key is that both people must agree beforehand, or it stops being roleplay
It's still weird,
and
bro.
starts being illegal. Things get much worse when people try to act out this fetish in real life. Some have even used drugs to knock someone out, thinking that is a good idea.
Rick Ross.
But it is one of the worst crimes possible. On top of being illegal, it is also a medical disaster waiting to happen. Drugs that put people to sleep do not come with a snooze button. Sometimes they just hit the never wake up setting.
Oh.
Incest fantasies. You've probably heard the phrase, "Help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck," because
Yo, can we get a show of hands for how many of us watched this video, bro? Maybe we have this, bro. Yo, we all have this, bro. I'm sorry.
that's the opening line to many of your favorite videos on PH. And there's a reason why they use step-siblings instead of actual siblings in their role-playing videos. Well, getting on with it with a step-sibling is still incest. But the real incest is what's actually banned or taboo. Incest is when close family
I don't think
members
it's banned, bro. I mean,
have a sexual relationship, but some people think it's actually hot doing it with a sibling or a close family member because for them, nothing strengthens a
Hell
bond
no.
better than actually bonding. But there are good reasons why society banned incest or any fantasies related to it. The first is tied to genetics. Close relatives, especially siblings, have similar genetics. So a baby born out of incest has a much higher chance of getting unlucky
he might look like he was stepped on in the womb, bro.
in the genetic lottery. Imagine rolling the dice and landing on extra fingers, serious health issues, or looks exactly like Uncle Bob in baby form.
Right.
That's because close relatives have too many of the same genes. And when bad genes team up, the results can be a disaster.
Right.
Then there's the social mess. Incest throws a grenade into the entire family structure in most modern societies. If a parent, sibling, or close relative turns a family dinner into an orgy, it creates a weird and awkward setting that can cause emotional problems and lifelong therapy bills. But the problem is that there are still countries, or even rural places in America, that practice incest or try to normalize it. For them,
Alabama.
it's more about two consenting adults than considering whether it's legally or morally right. And because these places tend to normalize incest or fantasies about it, they bypass the Westermark effect, which is nature's way of telling us at an early age that family members have no trespassing signs. But if incest were to be made normal, it would lead to genetic problems and family trees that look like family vines.
Yeah,
instead.
let's not normalize this, bro, please. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. That was every single banned pleasure fantasy in 15 minutes. Let me know which one you think was the most diabolical, the most nasty, the craziest one. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like, subscribe, join the Discord link in the description, sub to the main channel in the description as well, and follow the Instagram in the description. With that being said, have a great rest of your day. It's Love You, I love you, and I'm out.